This project started in people's mind before I was even a member of the city council. So that gives you an idea how long ago that was. I think it was in 2002, Betty, that we created the master plan, and I was then a member of the city council representing District 5. We created the master plan for Washington Park to include this concept. The thinking at the time was to create a community gathering site, to create a place where neighbors could get to know one another, to create a place that would activate the park and provide opportunities for young people, for seniors, for people of all ages, for families to come and enjoy Washington Park, and in those hot days or cold days, have a retreat to be able to continue to enjoy the park, but do so more comfortably. To have arts and crafts classes, to have classes that would enrich individuals and families' lives as they learn together. And here we are, over 20 years later, that dream has been achieved. And so I'd like to congratulate all of you for having a hand in that. Because this, Betty, and let's hear it for Betty Sword. And let's hear it for all of the friends of Washington Park, all of the neighbors who have contributed. I see my good friend Lisa Jeffries, whom I've known since I was myself a teenager. And Lisa worked for the Department of Human Services, Rec and Parks it was at the time. And so she has had a hand in this, and let's hear it for Lisa as well. So over 20 years of imagining, this project has gone from, should we move a house here? I feel like it's kind of tracked my life. I moved a house in 2001, so I said, well, let's move a house here. And at one point, that was a possibility. We were going to move a house, you'll recall, Betty, because the costs to construct were much higher. At another point, it was going to be just a much smaller structure and some bathroom renovations. But ultimately, the neighbors, led by Betty and others, prevailed, and we did the right thing. Now, over the course of those years, it's not like nothing was happening. We renovated the field. We put in the new play structure. We put in the new pergola on the other side of the park. And so over those years, work continued to be done. And so I'd also like to congratulate all of our city staff who have been a part of the evolution of this park. Please stand and raise your hand or stand and be recognized, and let's give them a round of applause. One of the things that's very special about this park is it's a historic park. And it's also a neighborhood park. And if you notice, not just in this project, but in everything that we've done in and around the park, we've protected the historic nature of the park. And so it's proof positive that you can reinvigorate, you can reinvent, but at the same time, draw back on what makes a place and creates a special place if you do it right and if you make the correct investment. And I think on this one, we can all agree that we've done it right. I mean, look at this beautiful structure. Look at how it sits overlooking the park on all ends, how inviting it is. And I can just see Natalia and other kids here growing up and remembering their time in our park, and also remembering their time in the park house. So with that, congratulations to all of you, individually and collectively, for having a hand, and thank you for being here to celebrate our new park house. I'd like to welcome Assistant City Manager Brenda Harvey Williams up to say a few words on behalf of our City Manager.
Well, officially, I'm here to welcome you on behalf of City Manager Miguel Marquez, who is out of town. He really wanted to be here, but wasn't able to do that. So on behalf of Miguel, welcome. One of the things that's so lovely about a park is, do we really need to welcome you to a park? This is the grand opening of this beautiful structure, but I've already seen people going in and out of it. So people tend to make themselves at home in a park. So we don't need to have you make yourselves at home, because I see you're already welcome and you're already making yourself at home. One of the things I was going to say up here, the mayor has already covered. I was going to give you a little bit of historical background. And as city staff, and since the city manager reports to the mayor and the council, I probably shouldn't correct the mayor publicly like this, but I just have to tell you a little bit more history of the project. And that's only because, Mayor, for many, many years I worked in the Public Works Department. And my job there, I was the Finance and Management Services Administrator. And I administered the capital improvement budget. So there have been projects on the capital plan for many, many years. And I went back and checked the historical record. And in 1991, a project was created called Implementation of the Master Plan for Washington Park. And one of the elements of that master plan that was listed as a very far future item was the community house. And I just wanted to read to you real quickly the description of the community house at that time, again listed as a much future phase. Construction of a community house to include new restrooms, a small recreation staff office, and a community meeting room, capacity approximately 20 to 25 people. So this is a dream very, very, very long in coming. I don't know what a lot of you were doing in 1991. And as I look out here, I know that many of you, if we would have been able to build it in 1991, would not have been here yet. So it's been a long time. It is so gratifying to see these things come to fruition, even though it sometimes takes a little bit of a long time. But again, welcome. And once we cut this ribbon, enjoy this new lovely facility. And I want to actually thank the mayor and the city council members through the years who've all contributed to approving the funding for this project. And that's really what takes so long, is on the bureaucratic side, trying to pull together the millions of dollars. And I know our public works director will give you a little bit more of those details later. The millions of dollars needed to do these things, it sometimes takes a long time. But without the support of the mayor and the council, they wouldn't come to fruition. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you to the city council members who are here, the city council members of past, and again, welcome and enjoy this beautiful facility.
Thank you for the reminder, Brenda. In 1991, actually, I was working with then council member Bill Crowfoot. So I'll be certain to point out to Bill that, who is now a judge, Superior Court judge, that he couldn't get the job done, so we did. And I'll remind him that that's what you said here at the podium. So stay out of Superior Court for a while. Next, I'm going to invite Betty Sword up to say a few words and join me here at the podium. You know, when we redid that master plan, and I think it was in 2002 from the original one, it was a very important component of the master plan to ensure that we sought through saw through the community house. And I can tell you there've been a lot of champions, and I see a lot of you here in the audience today, but there's been no bigger champion, even bigger than Councilmember Crowfoot, Councilmember Gordo, mayors. There's been no bigger champion than Betty Sword for our community house. And so I want to invite our good friend, our neighbor, and our park champion, Betty Sword up. This would not have happened without Betty.
Victor and Lola have covered a lot of what I would have thought to say. A few things. One of the most important historical facts about the park is that it was originally designed by Theodore Payne and Ralph Cornell, who were hired by the city to design about 4 or 5 parks back in 1920, 21. If you don't know who Theodore Payne is, look up the Theodore Payne Foundation for Wildflowers and Native Plants, because he was a big proponent of California native plants. So in the process of getting together as a community, we discovered this and started really pushing for native plants to be put in the gardens here. And so that's why you see so many, and we have an agreement with the city. That's all that should go in here in the future is native plants. And you'll see some of our vendors here. I encourage you to talk to them about the butterfly garden and the efforts we've made to encourage monarch butterflies and other insects and pollinators to have a habitat here too. And one thing else, the restoration on the west side of the park is an award-winning design that received the Southern California American Society of Landscape Architects Award back in 2008, several years after it was done. So I think that's really a significant thing to know about our park. I'll think of some more later, probably. I can run on about the park. So, and thank you for all your kind words, Victor. And I'm going to introduce our current councilwoman, Jessica Rivas, District 5.
Thank you, Brenda, for letting us know that it actually went back to the early 90s. I was under the impression it's been 20 plus years, so it's actually been 30 plus years. So all the more reason for my remarks to be brief, and let's cut this thing and get inside. The hardest part actually for me has been these last couple months when it's basically it's been beautiful in our park. We've been able to see it really walking by and enjoying the park. But there's been lots of finishing touches going on. And I know I've been one of the many people just peeking through the windows, seeing, can we come in yet? Can we come in yet? But now is finally the day. So I do, before we can cut the ribbon, I want to just thank a couple folks. Of course, staff and the contractors and all the labor that went into constructing it. But I want to highlight Mayor Gorda and Vanya de la Cuba. They have guided this process for almost 2 decades, working with staff and residents to get us to this beautiful final product. I remember a meeting maybe about 5 years ago in Betty Sword's living room with Vanya and maybe another staff member. We were in the very early stages of design, just thinking, what could this look like? Okay, we're going to make this happen, but what could it look like? And it's just been a true collaboration between staff, then Councilmember Gordo, Vanya, and the residents. So thank you to now Mayor Gordo and Vanya for ensuring that there has been that collaboration throughout the entire process. I want to thank the residents, of course, everyone who's participated in the process, and I see many of you here. And chief among them, of course, is Betty Sword. You know, this truly has been a labor of love through many, many years. Thank you for your care and dedication. For all users of the park, for everyone that is here, you know everyone. You honestly are my eyes and ears in the park. I'm here often with my family, but not as much since we moved across the other side of Lake. We used to be here more often, but if anything happens in this park, I'm hearing from Betty. So thank you so much for being my intel and just guiding this project through the years. So just in conclusion, I want to thank Victor, Vanya, and Betty. You really have been the core group that have seen this through fruition over 20 years, which is incredible. So thank you so much.
This is a great crowd, and it just reminds me of the effort that it took to get here. You know, I was 6 years old. My brothers were teenagers, and my cousins were teenagers. We played basketball in the park, and I remember coming back home. You know, I live a few half a block down, and I remember coming back home and them telling us when I was 10 actually that they was going to build a community park here. And my mom said, you know, next summer there'll be a community park there. We'll hang out in the community park. You'll play basketball and you'll have a good time. And then I was an intern for the City of Pasadena, I think back in 2000, and Brenda can tell me, 2009 or something. And I remember coming one summer working, and we was in the park here, and then the staff at the time was telling me, oh, when you come back next summer, there will be the community house here, and we'll be able to have meetings in there. So this is just a full circle moment. It's taken a lot of labor, a lot of work to get to this point. And, you know, and to me, it's just Pasadena is just a remarkable community and a remarkable city. And for everyone to be here, to be involved in getting this park and getting this community house here, it's just not the staff, it's just not the council members, it's everyone in our community, everyone, for the Friends of the Washington Park to the residents across the street. And so that's what makes Pasadena special. And, you know, it's just a full circle moment that I used to play basketball here around 6 years old, and now that 6-year-old child is working together with the community to open up this community house and to improve our city and our neighborhood. So thank you.
Next, I see Council Member Felicia Williams here. I'm going to ask Felicia Williams to come on up. Now, Felicia represents the neighborhood just a block or two away.
I really appreciate the native gardens and all of the efforts that we have made to make this sustainable, including the building as well. So I just want to thank everybody, thank our council members before and current that have helped with this effort, and really just congratulate all of you, the community, on your new community center. Thank you.
It is really great to see so many people here. When I started here a little over 2 years ago, we had a groundbreaking right here, and it just looked completely different than it does today. I have the best job in the world in my department. We take all the vision that's been developed, like the mayor and others have said, you know, for so many years, and we're able to get the teams together, the design team, and put all those visions together. People like Betty Ford and the Friends contributing on a daily basis almost, you know, as we're developing the design and finalizing it. Working through all the different departments, getting all the funding sorted, going to city council, getting their approval of the funding. It's just a huge effort with so many people involved. But like I said, I get the best job in the world because we put this all together, put it out for bid, get a contractor out here, and then oversee the construction of it. And really, really the best part is these moments when you get a chance to come out, open it up for the community, and everything just came to fruition. So I just want to thank the architect that developed this project, that actually helped get all the vision together from all the community, Onyx Architects. I think they're here. I don't know exactly where they're. There they are right there. Let's give them a hand. They're a local Pasadena firm, so they have a lot of interest. They have a lot of love for the community. So this was really not just a job for them, but a labor of love. We also had Act One, the contractor. I'm not sure if they're here. I didn't see them earlier. But they also did the Playhouse Village Park. So they also have done a lot of work in Pasadena, and they're very proud of all the work that was done. As you can tell, this is a 1,600 square foot building. We have the restrooms there. Before, it was just a couple of old restrooms that were here. We spent about $3.5 million on this project, and I think it was the best money spent. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to the community, and thank you to all the teams that worked on it. My team, in partnership with Parks and Recreation, you know, it's just fantastic. So thank you. And I'm going to call up Coco Panosian to come up next.
What a beautiful day to have this event, huh? Look at that. Earlier in the week, it was forecasted for rain, and I think this is my pure luck. I tend to have these days, and it just becomes a beautiful sunny day. So good morning, everyone. My name is Coco Panosian. I'm the director of, thank you. Wow, I have one person in the crowd. I'm no longer new, though. This is probably my 105th day on the job. So I can't take any credit for what happened with this building. It was already here, constructed when I came on board. But I would like to take an opportunity to thank the team that put it together. First and foremost, I know it's been said, but it can't be said enough, Mayor Victor Gordo and the council members who supported this project. And I want to thank them for their continued support of Parks and Recreation, our programming, our team, with Kenny Durrell and the staff. I put together great opportunities for programming here, and I want them, please give them a big round of applause, because this is going to be activated, and we're going to have more events happening here. Do remember that this community house belongs to you, the community, hence it is named the community house. And it is going to be available for you to host your events. If you want to go ahead and make a reservation, reach out to their staff and secure the time. But they have plans anywhere from the tots to the teens to the youth to seniors. There's going to be programming here in the community center as well as in the park. I also want to take a moment to thank Tony Olmos and his team, Chris McCarrion, Hayden Melbourne, and Tio. Sorry, Tio, I can't really. Sierra, thank you for working on this project. It does take a lot to put a project like this together. Anywhere from the community outreach to start in trying to gauge what the community really wants with this facility. And I want to thank the community for their continued support in making this happen, making this a reality. With that, I know Natalia wants to go into the building, so we will keep the comments short. I do want to ask the community to continue working with us, the department. Sorry, Tony, but I think we're the best and fun department in the city. We are Parks and Recreation after all. And we want to reach out to you in the next few months. You're going to hear from us. We're going to want your input into what kind of programming you want to see here as well as other facilities. So I urge you to please communicate with us when those surveys come out, when we reach out to you, and inform your residents to let us know what you wish to have in our facilities and our parks as far as programming so we can deliver what you want back to you. Again, thank you very much, and let's cut the ribbon soon. Thank you.
Looking at the number of people out here, it certainly is a fabulous event, and it underscores the importance of this community house, because it really underscores that it's a community home, a home for all of you to come and partake in all that is the glory of Pasadena. So welcome, and congratulations on having it built. A lot of thank yous have gone out to the folks, and all those thank yous are really earned. The folks that contributed to this project have done a very good job at really creating this architectural marvel as far as the neighborhood is concerned, and keeping everybody engaged and bringing people together. So you've heard a lot about the past. I've only been here a year, so the historical knowledge escapes me, but I would really like to talk just about 90 seconds about the future. So protection in these parks is important. That's my job and the group of the folks that I work with. And we're going to take that seriously to make sure that when you get here, that you can come and enjoy that park in safety. And I'd like to introduce a little bit of the team that's going to be here to provide that for you. We've got 4 members of our park safety group. We just want to make sure we give a face to the uniforms that you'll see out here, and these people are here at your disposal to make sure they provide a safe environment for you to enjoy this wonderful building. So moving forward, any questions that you have, please, you'll see these folks and the rest of their team in the park, and we're going to make sure this is a place that you get to enjoy for many, many years in the future. Thank you for allowing me to address you today. Thank you to this team that's going to be helping you in the future, and thank you to all of you for being here. Have a great day.
Now we have a special presentation for probably 30 years now that if not more, that I've known Betty Sword and worked with her in and around the park. You can always find Betty tending to the gardens, whether it was the pollinator garden or weeding in the park. Tony, you should give her a job. I don't think she's being compensated. But always looking out after the park, particularly the gardens in the park. The pollinator garden up on the hillside. I remember lots of times driving by and seeing Betty tending to the hillside with other neighbors. And so we today are going to dedicate the gardens at Washington Park to Betty Sword. And I have a commendation that I'd like to read that says, whereas for over 30 years, Betty Sword has been an active longtime resident in Pasadena's Washington Square landmark neighborhood. She has worked with neighbors, community leaders, and city staff to improve the quality of life in the Washington Square area, helped to establish the neighborhood as a landmark district, and worked tirelessly to restore Washington Park as a safe, welcoming space. And whereas an avid lover of gardens and all things nature, Betty focused her efforts on bringing Washington Park back to its original beauty And in 1992, the Friends of Washington Park was established. Betty worked with city staff to update and implement the Washington Park Master Plan to retain and enhance the historic look and feel of the park with a focus on the use of local native plants, inclusion of accessible pathways, and the addition of a community house, and to provide a useful multi-purpose gathering space for the community. Whereas in honor of all that Betty has done and continues to do to keep Washington Park beautiful, welcoming, and safe for all to enjoy, it is fitting and appropriate that the Betty J. Sword Gardens be installed in Washington Park. Now therefore, I, Victor M. Gordo, Mayor of the City of Pasadena, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby commend Betty J. Sword for her dedicated efforts to enhance the beauty of Washington Park and extend gratitude for her contributions to the city and people of Pasadena. There will be a beautiful bronze, there's a temporary sign there, but there'll be a beautiful bronze worked into the rock that will commemorate Betty's contributions, ongoing contributions to our park and the gardens. And so, again, thank you, Betty, for all of your contributions. I heard somebody say, and I won't identify that person, say, Betty, it's a good thing you didn't. It's a good thing you didn't curate the bathrooms. They might have named the bathrooms after you. Where's Raul? Okay, so with that, I just want to again say to everyone, thank you. Each and every one of you has contributed individually, and all of you collectively, together with Betty, have imagined, constructed, and left a legacy for current Pasadenans and future Pasadenans to enjoy as we respect the contributions of past Pasadenans. And that's really the Pasadena way, to respect what we've inherited, to improve what we have, and then to ensure that what those who come after us inherit something that's special and for the ages. So congratulations to all of you. Now we're going to cut the ribbon. Again, let's hear it for Betty Sword.